Hello there, good evening. Welcome to News Night here on Metro Television. My name is Bridget Otu. Welcome to a new week and a new month, October, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Let's begin with the stories making headlines tonight. Several communities in the eastern and central regions submerged after heavy downpour. As we begin the month of October, we will be telling you all about breast cancer and Metro TV News initiative in creating awareness. About 15 shops within the Kumasi Central Market in the Ashanti region have been destroyed after fire gutted a shoemaking shop within the market. International rating firm Moody's Investor Service has downgraded Ghana's long-term issuer and senior unsecured debt ratings to CAA2 from CAA1. And Burkina's ousted leader finds refuge in Togo, ECOWAS mediations during Ouagadougou. We have details of these stories and more all coming up in the next 60 minutes. Thank you again for joining us here on Newsnight. Hello again, and remember we're streaming on Twitter as at Metro TV GH. If you're on Facebook, it's at Newsnight and at Metro TV Ghana. Let's begin with a story that's affecting a lot of homes. ECG and the Managing Director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Samuel Mahama, is urging customers with prepaid meters to remain calm as measures are being put in place to address their concerns. At a presser held in the capital, Accra, he assured customers that the challenges at the various vending stations would be resolved by close of today.
Customers of the Electricity Company of Ghana's prepayment meter system since Monday, September 26, 2022, were unable to top up at a third-party vending point. The almost a week challenge affected customers in 10 operational regional areas of ECG, including Volta, Kumasi, Accra, Takoradi, Tema, Cape Coast, Kaswa, Winneba, Swedro, Koforidua, Nkoko, and Tafo. The challenge compelled the company to put in place various measures, including extending the working hours for the weekend. In a presser held in Accra, the Managing Director of ECG, Samuel Mahama, assured customers that the challenges would be resolved by close of the day.
I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to all customers of the Electricity Company of Ghana who attempted to purchase power and were not able to purchase power. The company admits its faults. The company admits that it was not able to deliver on a service. But the company also at this point would like to let all its customers know that most vending stations are up and running. We want them to know that hopefully by close of day today, everything will be up and running.
He advised persons with illegally connected power supplies to have them disconnected.
I'll then treat everybody that the system is up and running now. So if you've done anything of such, please call the person who did it for you and return and reverse it. Because right after all of this, we will go back and embark on our illegal connection, campaign, and make sure that everybody does right by the company.
He also called on affected persons to lodge complaints for compensations.
All those who have a problem should use their redress channels through PURC and see us, and then we'll handle it on a case-by-case basis. Anybody whose power comes up and they have a problem can visit our nearest customer service office with their last purchase receipt, and then we would go through and do the necessary reconciliation.
The company is working assiduously to restore the power up for an improved and seamless service provision.
Right, so we're going to the Ashanti and Central regions where our correspondents are there to give us live updates on what's happening there. Basit Suleiman is our Ashanti regional correspondent, and then we'll talk to Akwesi Ado in the Central region. Basit, good evening. What can you tell us currently with respect to the issue that is being experienced across the country on ECG prepaid meters? Hello, Basit. Can we have Akwesi on so we can ask, exactly, are customers able to purchase with money? It's not like they don't have money. They have money, but they experience a challenge. And the MD says it's not due to hacking and that they will fix it by close of today. Akwesi, good evening.
Good evening, Bridget.
Akwesi, what can you tell us right now with respect to what's happening in the Central region?
Okay, so over here in the Central region, the long queues that we normally found at the various centers of the Electric Company of Ghana are no longer existing because, according to the company, it has been able to put in place measures to solve that particular challenge. So earlier on today, I went to the various offices, the main office of the ECG, and then the people I met there were people who had long existed issues. So in the region here, we can report that customers of the ECG are okay because the certified vending points of the ECG or the private vendors are able to sell prepaid credit to the ECG customers in the region.
Right. For a lot of customers who are inconvenienced, I mean, you heard the MD says that, if somebody needs to be compensated, what exactly are customers saying? Are they saying they are happy because it has been resolved or they want more?
People are happy that the ECG has been able to solve the challenge, but they are also concerned about the cost they incurred over the period because in the region here, some persons or some users began having issues from Monday, that is exactly a week today. And so we can all imagine the kind of cost that those people might have incurred until the challenge was resolved, especially for those who run businesses that relied on consistent power supply. Because some medium and then even large-scale businesses resorted to the use of standby generators for power during.
Thank you.
And so it will be affecting them as well as residential business also.
Akwesi, thank you. At least this confirms what the MD said, that indeed it's been resolved, as is the case in Central region. We're going to the Ashanti region, a very important region, and to find out again if it has been resolved. Basit, good evening. What can you tell us in respect of customers? Are they able to purchase their prepaid meters, units without any problems? Yes, go on. Basit, if you can position yourself, we can barely hear you in the studio. If you can position yourself well, we'll try and connect. You can also tell us, if you find yourself in the capital, has the queues gone down? I mean, right now, of course, ECG offices have closed. We're very much aware. But did you experience any challenge whatsoever when you went round looking for units or credit to buy? I know people in Lashibi, there were queues there. In Teshi, I saw people who were in queues as well. There was a woman who told a story to, I believe, Kwame A+ that, she has to close her coal store. She wants to close her coal store because the contents of the fridge had rotten and that she had lost so much money. We'll try and connect with Basit a bit later when he has a better line. But let's continue with the rest of our stories. And about 5 communities in the Ghana South municipality of the Greater Accra region have gotten flooded as a result of the Densu River overflowing its banks. The situation has affected scores of residents and displaced many. Meanwhile, a joint team has been constituted by the Ghana South Municipal Assembly to assist the affected residents.
Over 1,000 houses have been submerged and about 1,500 people been displaced in the Ghana South municipality. The Densu River has had its banks overflow, leading to the situation. Some of the affected communities are Ashalaja, Mahia, Obum, and others. The Gar South Municipal Assembly has put together a team of military officers and NADMO staff to assist with canoes to avoid any possible drowning. Speaking to Metro News, the MCE for Gar South, Joseph Nyani, mentioned that the situation looks overwhelming as these areas have not experienced any flooding in the last 6 years. He, however, says plans are being put in place to prevent any such occurrence in the future.
DMC, we come CCS, we NC that we had no NC that cry. This is the first time, and we attest to the fact say maybe a science that until disaster be a 2 years in our Hanomo, and you are seeing how best I bet to me a solve problem. Yeah, here to make sure say be in Koran in every Hanomo, I call a safe place. Yeah, to me, I'm on shelter, maybe I'm to me the theater. Now they will take it from there.
Meanwhile, Gar South Municipal NADMO Director Christian Afia Daniel says over 1,000 people have been displaced and says they have identified 100 churches and schools to serve as a temporary haven for the victims.
Who are victims this year? There are more than 1,000 people. And our houses now identified this year. There are 500 houses. Honing in idea, Nipa and to me coho. And I soon bar neighbor. Now we are doing starting from Friday evening, Saturday, and I echo from Kakra, Sunday or Sapeja, and Nedia. I Ubu, but they are associated to me, Ayen, Yesu Nadmo, yeah.
An operations director of the National Disaster Management Organization, Daniel Kankam Chumisi, says that one person has so far died as a result of the recent downpour, which has affected thousands of residents living in flood-prone areas. According to him, although measures are being put in place to assist those affected residents, residents living in flood-prone areas should relocate to safer grounds. And he spoke earlier in an interview on Newsflash.
This morning, that is Monday morning, the situation has normalized. The road leading from Kofrediato to home is now back to use. We've recorded one death at Asokore. The person is between the ages of 40 to 45. His name given to us is Zachary. He was a driver. The precise number of people being affected will be more than 1,000. But as of now, we cannot emphatically give you a figure because we are still compiling data. But what we have now is around 900 plus. Concerning relief, the municipal secretariat's capacity cannot help the people now. So we've linked up with our regional secretariat to help us get relief items for the victims. We've advised victims who are very close to the river to relocate. We provided them with safe havens, some schools, some churches, provided them with some blankets and mosquito nets and other stuffs. We are here to provide them with water, which the municipal assembly is organizing, and other relief items as well. That's what we've done now.
Right, and it's been 3 days after the deadline for the SIM registration exercise elapsed, leaving Ghanaians with unregistered SIM cards with the fear of their SIM cards being blocked. But these unregistered SIMs are still in use with subscribers uncertain of what will happen next. The National Communications Authority is tight-lipped on the way forward and says they will soon come out with information with respect to that. My colleague Elvis Andor has been visiting some centers and brings you this.
At the MTN branch in Circle, the number is not that much, as I have been told that majority of them have been registered, and most of them that you see behind me are actually here for SIM card replacement. But I have with me here a lady who is also yet to register her SIM as per the directive of the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. Mepacho, medi entina a chance na oba be register o SIM no.
Oma wi am phone.
Enti omo wi a phone na enka no before me wi na wa ye registration and as na wonye.
Me ye afa number be.
Na me pacho se me bisa akoso a aban ne hye se wankasa wobetumi a register ho e wo fie se wopa adent na wanya wanye no ana se wante
Mere mantene sa.
so she's saying that she's here to register her SIM because she lost her phone and she needs to replace the number. And after replacing the number, she needs to register the phone. Let me talk to this lady also.
Today is the first time I came to register my SIM. I came here since morning, but still the network is not going through.
But where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Sawam, but I came to do something in town, that's why.
You could register in Sawam prior to the deadline that was last week, Friday. Why then the delay?
Oh, nothing. I prefer that I'll be coming today to do.
So will I say that you are a stubborn academy?
I am included.
Okay, so thank you very much for speaking with us.
Patro me chip na ira ye wi me phone. Nti afa no ma betwa chip no foforo a me be register. Eno nti e ma me e baaye no. Me patro wo mo antwe nkwan nim kakra na nti a me kasa ne se e bi se me ba bia me fi afran place me kwan wa. Mrewa ne mpanyimfo wom. Omo mo se na je obi boa wom. Ansa omo ti me register. Inti se wa ma antwe ankwan nim sa na bia ne se me ma me wo ho a age me kɔ hɔ na makoboa no no wati me register. Inti me sra omo ntwe ankwan nim kakra.
Also, all that she's saying is that she'll plead that authorities actually look at an extension.
The thing is, I'm a student and I'm a worker also, so the stress alone, so I just took some time off my schedules today to come and register my SIM. I've actually registered already, but I came here for the biometrics.
Okay. Yeah. So let's look at it from the fact that the ministry introduced a mobile app that you can use to self-register. Did you try that option?
No, I didn't try that option, but I registered earlier on. Yeah, I registered earlier on before they introduced those apps.
So you're here for SIM replacement?
Yeah.
So all that she's saying is that she's here for a SIM replacement. Actually, not all of them in the queue are here for SIM re-registration, but actually to replace their lost SIM because they need that number. Though I've spoken to a lot of them, most of them say that yes, what they will plead for is that the NCA and the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization look at rather extending the deadline as stated for last month, that is September 30, 2022. But will that be possible because the NCA is yet to roll out the punitive measures that it will set for all those who fail to re-register their SIM by the close of this week. Reporting for Metro News, Elvis Andor, Accra.
And we are in the month of October, and this ribbon right here represents that the month of October is dedicated to breast cancer. Over 2.3 million women were diagnosed with breast cancer in 2020 alone, and in Ghana we lose about 2,000 women a year. I lost my sister to breast cancer in July this year, and as educated as we all are, some go to the hospital with too little to be done because it's very late. Metro TV News is dedicating this month to telling the story of survivors and how you can survive this dreadful disease. We'll be back to tell you more.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is proudly brought to you by Reflow and Givers Industries.
Right, and we thank the companies that are sponsoring us for this segment. And survivors of breast cancer have encouraged women to seek proper medical care as early detection of breast cancer is curable. They also are calling on stakeholders to draw more attention to the fight against stigmatization as it hinders patients from actively seeking medical treatment.
Diagnosis of breast cancer is one of the most frightening experiences a woman can have. The discovery of a lump or changes to the skin on or around the breast, which could be cancer symptoms, can make them fear the worst. Coupled with these very real fears of what could happen next and how far modern medicine is able to treat the disease is a much more emotional component. This is one reason why often women shy away from seeking the treatment they need. In view of this, Some breast cancer survivors shared their experience and encouraged women to seek proper diagnosis and treatment.
It's very worrying. The myths and misconception surrounding the disease prevents most women to report to the hospital on time. Instead of a woman going to the hospital, she will prefer to go to the herbalist or the prayer camp and waste most of the time there. If you notice any changes in your breast, don't hesitate to go to the hospital.
Breast cancer is not spiritual. Don't stigmatize those people who are having breast cancer or those who have survived it, because surviving cancer is almost like fighting cancer, because it has to do with frustration, depression, anger and everything. But if you can show love, I think it will go a long way.
Hospital na no ne ba boa da so o de betina fie no o be de be hye dem a onka no o de be ko se bia afofofo so ne mpai bo no to obi entu hu ana mo na afensi e be sra aban se yare ne de ayare sa ho na emom no e ka ewom nti on so ya sene no obi nya bia wetimi aboa na mananya ahuso.
In Ghana, about 4,600 infections of breast cancer occur every year, out of which about 2,060 die every year, representing 50% of mortality.
Right, and we'll be giving you more tips as the months go on Newsnight here. So this is our first tip for today. It says, don't wait for symptoms to appear, get screened. Don't wait for symptoms to appear, get screened. We'll tell you about the myths and facts about breast cancer, and especially for a lot of men, they want to know if sucking of breast prevents breast cancer.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is proudly brought to you by Reflow and Givers Industries.
Need to make an urgent call, but you realize you don't have credit, or your very important conversation was cut short because you ran out of airtime? Well, there's no need for all that stress, because all you have to do on MTN is dial *506# and you get to borrow credits on MTN Extra Time. The best part is you can also borrow data by dialing the same number *506# and you can bundle data wherever you run out of credit, whenever you run out of data to continue browsing. As always, your conversations don't need to end. Borrow extra time now and enjoy the things you love on your favorite network, MTN. We'll be right back with more Newsnight. Welcome back to Newsnight, and remember we're streaming on Facebook is at Newsnight and at Metro TV Ghana. If you're on Twitter, it's at Metro TV GH. Now, about 15 shops within the Kumasi Central Market in the Ashanti region have been destroyed after a fire gutted a shoemaking shop within the market. Now, according to eyewitnesses, the fire started in one shop at around 4 a.m. on Monday and later spread to other shops, destroying thousands of shoemaking materials, among other words. Affected persons spoke to Metro TV.
The weapon was not into the mammy. And was in women. I wanted to be a machine of any
And government has begun the strict enforcement of the Operation Clean Your Frontage by law, which mandates every citizen to clean their frontages and buffers. The program is manned by personnel from Zoomlion Ghana Limited, the Regional Coordinating Council, and the municipal assemblies, with support from the Ghana Armed Forces. Shadrach Odame Ejari has been on the ground and comes through with the following reports.
February 2020, the Operation Clean Your Frontage initiative was launched by the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, led by the Regional Minister Henry Quartey. This initiative, after the launch, was met with mixed reaction from the citizenry. Back in October, the Regional Coordinating Council, together with Zoomlion Ghana and also with support from the Ghana Armed Forces, are back in the capital to strictly enforce this directive.
It's like we are more or less achieving our aim as of this time. This is the first day of the start of the exercise, and you can see that we are making impact. Most of the store owners or the business operators here, they feel like it's AMA responsibility to come to clean the drain. But this exercise today has made and drawn their attention that it's their responsibility to clean the drain in front of their stores. And as we are here, you can just shoot your camera to see all the people cleaning and desilting the drain are the store owners, and they are now taking up the responsibility.
Some people also defended why they have settled in front of buffers and frontages of various households or companies.
Listen, boss, these people are not, they capture our space, okay? And when we are telling them to move, they don't want to move it, okay? So therefore we report this, we meet this person, Momo, and they told me they will come here, they will be issue one letter.
The document that the white man was showing to us wasn't a document in the form of a permit granted by AMA for anybody to settle there. It was a request that they put through the assembly that they want to take absolute control of their frontage. And then the Sub-Metro, for that matter, AMA, invited them to come so that they will sit down to draw and agree. Now, when you come to the people using the light, water without, billing or meters. Now, me and you are here. Electricity company is manned by management. The water company is manned by management. And who? Me. I don't know how to hold a screwdriver to connect light. I don't know how to lay pipe to connect water. So it's whose duty to have followed up there to take stock, to understand, question who have connected this light to this structure.
Florence Kunje is the Director for Public Health for the Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
It shouldn't have been somebody's duty to come and tell you that when you get up, clean your house, because cleanliness is religious. So if you get up and you pray, know that God doesn't want that, because the Bible tells us that when we live in dirty places, God distances himself from us. Why don't we accept and live in clean places? Then God will be closer to us than we getting up, running from place to place to go and search for God.
This is a very good operation. At least we have seen that the people are willing to comply. They are willing to comply. So that is all the beauty about this operation, that people are willing to comply. If they were hesitant, then it becomes a challenge. We must ensure that as far as the compassion trucks are available, you must find a way that when you distill from the gutter and it's dry, you yourself should hire a wheelbarrow and find a way to dispose it.
Officials of the Operation Clean Your Frontage initiative have noted that this is going to be a daily routine. Everyone in the capital is expected to clean their various buffers and frontages and make sure we keep the Greater Accra region clean. My name is Shadrach Odame Ejari for Metro News here in the capital, Accra.
Right, and President Akufo-Addo has demanded that the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, collaborate with the Auditor General to fish out persons cited for infractions in the 2021 Auditor General's report and make recommendations for sanctions within the next 4 weeks. And he gave the directive when he met board chairpersons of various state-owned enterprises at the Jubilee House on Monday.
State enterprises control about 50% of national assets, yet they contribute less than 5% to the country's GDP. Majority of these SOEs are unable to make profit or even break even. The age-old problem is further being worsened by high inflation, interest rate, and other factors. At a meeting with board members of state enterprises, a deputy finance minister said this year, only 30 specified entities out of over 170 have submitted their audited financial report to the ministry, a situation she describes as worrying.
The Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, gives a deadline of end of April each year for the delivery of audited financial statements of SOEs. As we sit here, government has received the 2021 audited financial statements from only 30 entities out of 176 specified entities. We do not intend to name and shame here, but to demonstrate the extent of some underlying issues we face in the sector, which must be adequately addressed.
She said government's current negotiation with the IMF will be partly hinged on turning around the fortunes of loss-making SOEs.
Government's negotiations with the IMF is well underway. One of the key elements of discussions is how we can better manage or limit the risk associated with SOEs' liabilities and thereby reduce government's exposure.
President Akufo-Addo charged management of state entities to sit up.
We are not in normal times, and people are eager to blame somebody. Let us not make it easy for people to blame us. We can defend and be excused for what is humanly beyond our control. But for those that fall under our purview of responsibility and capacity, let us do our best.
He further demanded a probe into the 2021 Auditor General's report.
I expect you to prioritize the payment of dividends, something virtually all of you have not been doing. I'm directing the Director General of SIGA to work with the Auditor General to drill down to the causes of the infractions, identify persons responsible, and make the necessary recommendations as prescribed by law. I'm giving them 4 weeks from now to submit a report to the Chief of Staff.
Meanwhile, the State Interest and Governance Authority, the entity set up to regulate the activities of government-owned companies, says it is implementing a robust performance monitoring and evaluation system to deal with infractions at these entities.
Right, government is being urged to provide sufficient funding for public basic schools in the country, as the non-payment of capitation grants is having serious effects on the running of the schools. Now, according to Challenging Heights, a child-focused NGO, government's inability to pay capitation grants and resource basic schools is affecting the quality of basic education in the country.
Executive Officer of the organization, James Kofi Annan, lamented basic school education that is supposed to be free has now become very expensive because parents are being made to pay. He was speaking at the 15th anniversary of Odobriba Academy in the Central Region. According to Challenging Heights, the data they recently collected across all 5 regions in Ghana, including the Central Region, pointed to cumulative payments that are made by parents of students of pupils in basic schools. Such payments, the organization says, sometimes add up to more than 1,000 Ghana cedis per child, far in excess of the fees charged in some private basic schools. The CEO indicated some payments made by these parents of the basic schools include students' desk, PTA dues, sport fees, ICT examination fees, and excursions.
We have evidence to show that even in the public school, some of the children are required to pay something to provide school desk, PTA, ICT to pay examination fees. But the schools are supposed to be free. Headmistresses and headmasters are forced to do that because the capitation grant, which is supposed to be released for the running of the schools, do not come when they are supposed to come.
The Futu Municipal Director of Education, Mabel Judith Micah, called for increased investment in education to prepare children for the future.
It was considered quality education yesterday might not meet the standard of what will be understood as quality tomorrow. The success of any educational system depends largely on the quality of teachers, which in turn depends on the effective teaching and learning process. Teachers' role is of vital significance for the development of society and appropriate changes in the society.
Area head of the Church of Pentecost, Winneba, Apostle Samuel Apia, entreated parents to be the first role model for their children by supporting the efforts of their teachers.
Right, and Ghana has recorded a 16% reduction in road crash fatalities from January to August 2022 as against same period in 2021. Some good news there. We're taking a break. When we come back, we will look at the current ratings from Moody's. It has downgraded Ghana further and economists are worried. We're back to tell you more with Kenneth Jesse. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Now, as part of its vision to promote customer service excellence at all its subsidiaries, the Jospon Group of Companies has launched the Customer Service Month. The entities were encouraged to make customer satisfaction premium to leave a lasting impression on clients.
The Jospon Group of Companies Customer Celebration Month aims at celebrating the important role that customers play in the organization. Speaking at the event, the founder of Customer Experience Professionals Ghana Association, Esther Dokuwa Fosuhine, said organizations need to know the needs of customers and work towards it.
The experience, how we want customers to feel when they interact with us as an organization, must be intentionally designed. We need to know who our customers are, and then once we find out what our customers are and what their needs are, we intentionally design things to suit their needs, and we also give them an opportunity to interact with us. So we give them channels where they can reach us if they have challenges and if they have feedback for us. And once we take the feedback and we work on it, then we can deliver a good experience to our customers. And one of the things is to design a customer strategy that fits into the overall business strategy of Jospon Group.
Professor Robert Ebo Henson is a member of the Advisory Board of Commercial and Allied Services, CAS, a cluster of the Jospon Group of Companies.
Every week, one of the clusters will showcase how they love their customers. They'll do customer visitations, they'll do customer tidbits. So from environment and sanitation to cars to tech and logistics, every cluster, every week, will have a chance to demonstrate the fact that customers matter across the Jospon Group and make new promises to serve them better even as we approach 2023.
The Director of Corporate Affairs and Communications at Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Emma Joa Pia Osedua, on her part, entreated all to set the mindset right with regards to treating customers.
I'm entreating everybody to make sure we make it part of our culture to set the mindset right concerning the customer so that we can give ourselves to the job that we do. It will definitely yield results. It looks like it drains the resources and doesn't give immediate reward. But I'm telling you, if there is anything in an organization that will bring in results to affect the bottom line, it is customer centricity, which will cause the customer to be loyal to your brand.
The event was on the theme Sustaining Business Gains Through Excellent Customer Service. Reporting for Metro News, Rosemary Anyingba, Accra.
There's bad news for the economy as international rating firm Moody's Investor Service has downgraded Ghana's long-term issuer and senior unsecured debt ratings to CAA2 from CAA1 and placed the ratings on review for downgrade.
According to Moody's, the downgrade reflects recent macroeconomic deterioration of Ghana's economy, which resulted in further heightening of government's liquidity and debt sustainability difficulties and posing an increased risk of debt default. Without external support, the government's policy levers to arrest a worsening macroeconomic backdrop and heavier debt burden are extremely limited. The government's smaller revenue base, large and increasingly absorbed by interest payments, further intensifies the policy dilemma between competing objectives, including servicing debt while meeting essential social needs. It further explains that the initiation of the review for downgrade is prompted by the ongoing negotiations between the Ghana government and the IMF over a funding program that may include a condition for debt restructuring to ensure debt sustainability. Moody's noted that such a restructuring will likely be considered a distress exchange and thereby a default under the rating agency's definition. The review will evaluate the likelihood of a debt restructuring being a prerequisite to secure sufficient and durable financing from official sources to avert a fiscal and balance of payment crisis that is already unfolding.
Right, and we're trying to get an economist to explain to us what this means for our already ailing economy. But in the meantime, the Ghana cedi has been ranked as the second worst performing currency in the entire world. According to a Bloomberg report, the cedi is now second to Sri Lanka's rupee.
National news portal said the cedi lost its value by 40.05% to the United States dollar in the first 9 months of 2022, making it the worst in over 30 years. The development has since placed the Ghana cedi in 147th position in the world among major currencies. Bloomberg further said the performance of the cedi has made it the worst among 30 top performing currencies on the African continent. Ghana's Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta recently disclosed that the Ghana cedi depreciated by 37.1% against the US dollar as of September 27, 2022. At the start of 2022, demand for forex overtook supplies during a period when high debt and low investor confidence have made it impossible for Ghana to access the international capital market for borrowing. The situation resulted in the persistent depreciation of the cedi against the major trading currencies. As at July this year, the cedi lost its value by more than 20% to the US dollar. In addition, recent economic downgrades by international rating agencies such as Fitch and Standard & Poor's have also impacted the investor community at large, while Ghana awaits an IMF support program which is expected to be accessed in 2023.
And that's it for business. My name is Kenneth Jesse. When we return from the break, Phil John Cote will be here with the latest in sports. Don't go anywhere.
Well, good evening. It's time for sports. My name is Phil John Quarty. The Translight Solar Tennis Championship at the ended at the Accra Sports Stadium with Ghana's #1 Samuel Entry beating Johnson Aqua for the title.
The Translight Solar Super Cup tournament has ended at the Ghana Tennis Center in the Accra Sports Stadium. The week-long event saw both male and female players in the profession and the social divisions with categories such as the men's and women's open, celebrity, clubs and corporate games. Unlike the previous edition, Ultimega Solutions as organizers and partners expanded the tournament into an open one, which later attracted a lot of players throughout the country. In the women's final game, Precious Nunama from the Ho Tennis Club managed to defeat hot favorite Yvonne Bruce Tego in a straight set of 6-4, 6-4 to lift the Super Cup trophy for the first time. She cruised her way to the finals by beating Yaira Komashi and top seed Annette Cruikshank in both quarter and semi-finals respectively, making her the first lady ever to win the trophy In the female category, the men's division saw top seed Samuel Entry snatched the trophy from his arch-rival and second seed Johnson Aqua in a straight set of 6-1, 6-0, much to the surprise of the numerous followers from Osu. Samuel Entry defeated Richmond Ama and Japhet Bagebase in the quarter and semi-finals respectively. Entry described the match as one of the series of grudge matches between them and also commended Ultimega Solutions and Translight Solar
tournament. I'm very, very happy and I thank God.
I would say it wasn't an easy journey for me from the round of 16 to the finals.
I would say today wasn't my day because comparing to the other matches that I played, this actually was my way.
This year's edition of the Tennis Super Cup tournament was organized by Ultimega Solutions under the auspices of the Ghana Tennis Federation, with Translight Solar as the headline sponsor in partnership with Paradise Park Mineral Water, Hullard Insurance and Tennis Foundation Ghana.
Tennis is a very important exercise for the nation, and also we have a lot of strong talent in this country that when nurtured can go international. So it is important that we put the talent that we have in this nation to very good use.
We produce the best tennis available in Ghana. We also had all the women, only 4 of the top women were not available for this tournament because they are playing outside. But we had a surprise winner who is somebody who is not necessarily a professional, but has been able to lift her level to the point where she can compete with the professionals and come out on top.
From Accra, let's go to the Indonesian capital, Jakarta, where FIFA President Gianni Infantino has sent a message of condolences to the people of Jakarta following a football disaster at the stadium.
It's a dark day for football and a tragedy beyond comprehension. I extend my deepest condolences to the families and friends of the victims who lost their lives following these tragic incidents. Together with FIFA and the global football community, all our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, those who have been injured, together with the people of Indonesia, the Asian Football Confederation, and the entire Indonesian football community.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino over there. That's your sports. My name is Phil John Quarty. Up next, entertainment.
Right, welcome to the entertainment segment on Newsnight. And Too Cute to Be Mute, a comedy show organized by Lexi the Comic, which took place over the weekend, was a massive hit. Funny Face, Obi Amponsa and others thrilled fans at the National Theatre. Let's take a look at some highlights from the show.
The program was held at the National Theatre as patrons trooped in to have an experience of a lifetime. Hosted by comedian Clemento Suarez, patrons were thrilled to 5 hours of non-stop jokes from the comedians. There were performances from several of them, including Obi Amponsa, a sterling comeback on stage for Funny Face, and the man of the night, Lexi the Comic.
And so Usher started this song. I think the song is Love and Friends or something. And the song he starts with, oh, 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 oh. There we go. And baby is my friend. I need to know this song. It was after I got to the show that I realized I really don't know Usher. Away. Our enemies too plenty. They all wishing and an idea. I said, I have a pregnant girlfriend who will get married soon in September. So I'll come back to Ghana and marry her. When I was there, I heard one guy using the same excuse. I said, unfortunately, you can't go to America.
There were also music performances from Kobe Rana and Mr. Drew. Speaking to Metro News, Lexi the Comic expressed his excitement for the turnout on the night.
The numbers that showed up for the show was super great. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting the number, but when the rains came through, I thought people wouldn't show up. But yes, they came in their numbers, and I really appreciate it.
And it was good to see Funny Face back on stage after 10 years and seeing him laugh at a very dark moment in his life. And on the international front, we know that Burkina Faso's ousted president is seeking refuge in Togo. And that's it for Newsnight. My name is Bridget Otu. Thank you very much for joining us. Next, we have Bottom Line with Kwesi Osrefriye, and already we have Lawyer Mesa in the studio. Talk about it. So stay with us.